All right, welcome to another episode of Medicine Mondays. I am yours truly, Dr. Maria-Pierre, your favorite board-certified internist, host of Medicine Mondays, Real Physician Reacts, as well as the Lunch and Learn with Dr. Berry. We have a special guest here on the podcast, Maria Davis-Pierre. You know her as the founder and CEO of Autism in Black. Maria, again, thank you for not only gracing us on the introduction of every Lunch and Learn podcast, but joining us for an amazing episode because we got a lot to talk about this year's conference. Again, thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me. I'm always excited to come and be on the show.
So for those who, for some reason, this may be the first time that they've seen you on either Medicine Mondays or the Lunch and Learn with Dr. Berry, who is Maria Davis-Pierre and what is so special about Autism in Black?
So I am, of course, your better half. I'm your wife, mother of your 3 children, but I'm also a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. And I'm the CEO and founder of Autism in Black. And our mission is to bridge that gap for Black parents who are raising autistic children through education, empowerment, and support. But we also train organizations, healthcare providers, basically anyone who is working with the Black disability community, and we train them to be more culturally responsive to us.
I love it. So we got you on here. I think it was maybe a couple months ago. It was a little minute ago that we were talking about the Black side of autism. Fast forward, we are, depending on when you're watching this or listening to this, we are less than about 2 weeks and some change away from the 2022 Autism in Black conference. Can you talk a little bit about what, first of all, talk about the conference and what we should expect coming up?
Sure. So our Autism in Black virtual conference, our main mission with that is to get the information to our community. We do know, I say all the time, access to information is a privilege. And when it comes to the Black community, we don't get all of that information about autism or, disabilities or anything else, because I know that you cover it, on your podcast. When it comes to our community, we don't get that information. So our platform is built basically around making sure that we have that information in our community so we can better support our children, better support ourselves if we are autistic ourselves, and make sure that we have the information to advocate for ourselves in a more effective manner. So with our conference, it's, we have over 20 speakers who are going to be talking about various topics when it comes to the Black side of autism. We have individuals that will be talking about self-advocacy, individuals that will be talking about sex education, transition planning, having the school be more effective to you as a Black parent. We are covering everything: seclusion and restraints, shame-proof parenting. We have a lot of topics. And our goal, again, is to make sure that, you have that information in your toolkit so you can go out and advocate in a different manner. And then also providing that safe space, that space where we can come and let those defenses down to be able to talk to people in our community, get that support, because sometimes it does feel extremely lonely. You don't feel like people in your family are understanding, your friends, and just have that network of individuals who understand where you are currently.
And as you kind of mentioned, this is a virtual conference, right? Because I want people to kind of get this idea that you can be attending this conference from the comfort of your home, from work, from school. You could be out and about. More importantly, you don't necessarily even have to attend the conference. Why? Because you'll get access to every single speaker's discussion replay for life. Now, we talked about this aspect of the conference. This is obviously year number 2. What was some of the thought process going into the second go around after the success you had for the first one?
In the second go around, definitely we started our planning much earlier. With the first conference, I think that our expectations really weren't that high. I hate to say it, but it was our first time doing it. And we were like, as long as 30 people come, we are doing what we're here to do. We had over 300 people attend. So we were like, okay, we really have to, put extra thought and planning into this conference. So coming into this year, I made sure to have more self-advocates, meaning there are more autistic individuals speaking at our conference this year. Over half of our speakers, including myself, are autistic or neurodivergent in some way, meaning ADHD or any other type of neurodivergence. We put more thought into our platform this year, making sure that individuals could have that networking experience and have individuals that are now part of their support system. We went in with a different mindset this year, and we're just excited. Again, the conference is June 24th through the 26th. 24th is our VIP day. The 25th and the 26th is for everybody. We have sessions planned all day, but like you said, you get all of the session recordings, and I don't want anybody to feel like they have to get every single piece of information that is being, shared during that weekend, because I know it can be overwhelming. So yes, definitely make sure that you take in what you can take in, and then go back and watch the sessions that you may have missed or that you need to watch again just to get some of that information.
What's important, especially we kind of mentioned the VIP day. Like, what does that entail? Like, for someone who may be interested in attending the VIP session, which obviously includes the general admission, but an extra day with yourself.
So what's different about VIPs is, one, they get a huge swag box. I think I have it over here. Let's see if I can bring it up for everybody to see. Actually, take the blur off of here. There we go. We get this amazing, huge box filled with so much. We have a lot of things, some secret that I can't share, that are going in here. So they get that, but they also get the 24th with me, which is 2 sessions. The first session that morning will be a learning session where we'll be talking about self-care. And then that second session in the evening is going to be kind of what I call a wind down. And we're going to be kind of implementing some practices, having a Q&A, and just really getting ourselves ready for the full weekend of conference. So we have those 2 sessions, and then they also get another session that will be in the vault for them only, from Althea Simpson, who is one of our speakers, and she has curated a specific session just for our VIP attendees. So they get 3 separate sessions away from the conference, and then the VIP swag box and some other goodies.
What's important, especially as we go into this first, these session, right, the conference, is understanding that, like, you're gonna get it's almost like a fire hydrant, right? There's gonna be so much information kind of pouring out from the amazing speakers that we have, that it could seem overwhelming, right? And that's why we really wanted to hone in the fact that, like, yes, this isn't a conference where you only have access to the replays for a couple of months and then it goes away. Like, for life, like, you'll be able to access and go back and learn and jot down notes, which we always encourage, right? I think especially when you listen to these amazing speakers, right? Take the notes quick as possible, but understand that if you miss something, you're gonna have that opportunity to kind of go back and delve and really take action. Because it's one thing to get the information. This is something that we've really been honing in on, this kind of year forward, is that it's one thing to get the information, and there's a lot of information, but it's another thing to put that information in action, right? We have all been at conferences where we go to the conference, we're super energized while we're at the conference, while we're seeing the social media posts. But 2 weeks after the conference, 1 month after the conference, that energy just kind of dissipates and you don't put it into action. And with Autism in Black and everything that, I know that you're doing, the goal is to make sure that, you could be prepared for the next school year, right? For the next month, for the next year, right? For 10 years down the line, you could be looking back and, man, it's something I learned at this conference I'm still able to apply today.
Exactly. That's really our mission is, making sure that we are equipped, right, to better support our children, to have a different understanding of what it's like for individuals who are autistic, not trying to set out to change us, right, to accept us for who we are and provide the supports that we need, and have that across all aspects, whether it be in the home, whether it be in the school, right? So yeah, it's definitely a lot of valuable information that is going to be shared throughout that whole weekend, and we're all excited. I'm sure I'm going to be learning, some new stuff as well that I'll be implementing into our home or into the school with our children. So it's very exciting.
Now, for parents who may be interested, is this conference for parents with little kids, with elementary kids, middle school, high school? Like, what age range, especially for the parents who may be interested in a conference like this, would be beneficial for them?
Any age range, any age range. We have sessions that are going to touch on across the lifespan, really. We have the sessions that are going to be, helping with establishing routines for the little ones. We have transition planning for those who children are transitioning from high school to whatever, their next step in life is, right? We have a whole panel session full of autistic adults who are going to be answering whatever questions you may have, who, are walking this walk daily. So wherever you're at, this conference is for you. And I know that sometimes based on the name of my company, people think that this conference is only for Black people. And I want to tell them that no, it's not. Our conference does only talk about the needs of the Black community, because that's what we do, and that's the gap that we're bridging. But it is for anybody who is either working with the Black disability community or has a Black child that they are raising or involved in raising. If you consider yourself an ally, you should be at this conference, right? If you are any kind of professional who is working in the disability community, you should be at this conference. And if you're a parent, you should be at this conference. So it's for any and everybody.
And, especially as we can move kind of past the conference, obviously we don't want to get too much into the business, because we know we have some surprises, even for those conference goers, for those, what you have looking forward. But let's talk about the Autism in Black Community store. Let's kind of talk about the motivation behind it and what you expect to see kind of moving forward from it.
Yes, so our community store, we're very excited. Right now, we have a lot of merch, right? We have our conference merch that you can get if you're going to the conference and wear it. And then we have other types of merch in there that you can purchase as well. But down the line, we're definitely adding our signature courses will be in there. Our books that are coming out will be in there. Our coloring book, which is coming out soon for pre-order, will be in there. Our feelings cards, our Autism in Black signature book that is coming will be in there. Our autism courses will be all in there, digital courses. So yeah, it's going to be filled with a lot of goodies soon to come, right?
Yeah, and what I love about it is that, especially because sometimes you have this concern, especially as a parent, where it's like so much information, but you don't know where to go because there's so many different sources. And I think a lot of the goal and thought process was like, all right, how can we try to condense and put everything kind of in one destination, so you're not having to go and search a million different ways to try to get the information you're looking for, especially for the parents of autistic kids who just got diagnosed, right? For the parents, and I think especially, I love that you talked about the transition, because I think a lot of times the focus, at least from the outside looking in, like I'm on the outside, right? And I think a lot of times the focus is always on autistic kids and taking care of them. But we never actually talk about when they become an adult. It's kind of like the hands are kind of washed, right? All right, they're adults now, I don't have to worry about them. So I do that aspect of making sure you're transitioning and talking about that transition as well.
Most definitely. I think overwhelmingly, like, when we're talking about resources and services, it's already, short when it comes to autistic kids. But when we talk about 18 and up, we are talking about wait lists that's longer than the lifespan sometimes, right? That we're on, people are having to put their children on a wait list at age 2 for when they're an adult already, because the wait list may be 18 years long, and this is no exaggeration. When we are talking about resources and services for adults, it is extremely, extremely shorthanded. So, and for whatever reason, people do not focus on the fact that children become adults. So if you have a child with a disability, they become an adult with a disability. And we need to be making sure that they are, prepared for that transition, that they're able to advocate for themselves. Because in a lot of instances, they then are responsible as an adult would be, right? So we want to make sure that we're preparing them and preparing ourselves as well, because sometimes we can get caught up in thinking from an ableist mind point that our child can't do anything and they're going to always need us. That may be true, but we also want to prepare them for independence as well, to be able to advocate for themselves. When I do any and everything, it's always about making sure my children are going to be able to take that skill and use it later down in their own life by themselves. So, that's definitely something that we focus on over here at Autism in Black, making sure that our children are going to be able to, take that baton and continue what we've been working with them, right? We don't want them to feel as if they can't do it, right? Especially if they can. So we want to make sure that we are providing them with the skills that they need.
So before we let you go, right? Because again, look, we know you're crazy busy, especially at a time like this. I say that's like you, like we're all busy, right? As like, and especially for my medicine Monday watches, right? Like you probably can't see the gesture, right? Like I'm actually in my kid's bedroom. You can't really see because I blurred it out. We just got so many things happening as in preparation for the conference. So things are just kind of moving along, and like I said, I was just definitely glad to be able to kind of sit Maria down for like 15 minutes to get talk to her. Just again, tell the Lunch Learning community about this amazing conference because again, it just continues to grow, continues to get better. I'm excited. Obviously, I'm a speaker, right? So I wasn't a speaker last year. I was on a panel last year. I'm a speaker this year. And I'm excited to give my, my thought process and my talk as well. So before we let you go, how does a person purchase their ticket for the conference? Where do they got to go? And more importantly, how can they follow you? Because obviously, not only are you the founder, CEO of Autism in Black, you're a podcaster as well, too, an extremely popular podcaster, blogger, vlog, all of these different hats, right? So give them some of the details of where they can find you at once they leave this podcast.
Sure. If you are looking to go ahead and secure your ticket to our conference, you can go to autisminblack.org/conference22. For anything else, you can go to our website, autisminblack.org. And even on our website, it has a button where you can go and find more information about the conference. It has our shop tab up there, so you can go ahead and look at all the merch. And then it has how you can work with me if you're wanting me to train your organization, speak for your organization, any of that. Our website has all of that. On social media, you can go on Instagram, and I'm Autism in Black. I'm Autism in Black on Twitter as well. And then on Facebook, I'm Autism in BLK.
All right. Again, thank you, member Lunch Learning community members. This is just year 2 of a fabulous and amazing conference. And, if you or a family member or someone that would benefit, make sure you send them this episode here. Again, you should. This is a conference you're going to want to be at. You're not going to want to miss. When we did this last year, we had the same people saying, man, I can't wait till next year's. And we're getting just excited to bring you the second edition of this year's conference.
Yes. Thank you for having me. And I hope to see you all at the conference.